Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. But so with you analyzing spaces, how do you feel like the content game is going to change in the next 10 years?
I don't. So, I think obviously this time last year, George Floyd died. Many people died, and that put a lot of pressure on these companies' necks. Like, for example, you know, we all know that women are not paid the same as men most of the time. There's even a pay gap in that instance, but because of all the uprisings surrounding it, it's been forced upon people to kind of bring that pay gap closer or employ more women and stuff like that. So now it's basically the same, but with black people. So like people are having to they're having to sometimes most of the time performatively out of profit, because this is what's mainstream now. Draw from that audience or draw from elements from that culture, and they don't always like they don't always pull on those black content creators and stuff like that to get coverage, to be even like paid from like what they've been asked to do. Like I remember I think content creators were like, this black content creator was like, stop emailing me if you're not going to pay me. Like,
I think I've seen that email. It was on Twitter, innit?
Yeah, like a lot of the times obviously these companies or brands will reach out to these content creators, but they're not paying them.
There's no money.
Yeah, they really
or
just
if
want
they
the
are paying them,
information.
it's not anything that you
It's
couldn't
not
get from a 9 to like from working at test. Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what this reminds me of? That BBC Free skit where it's like they brought in the token white guy.
Oh, the white guy who's like,
Yeah.
we just really want to get some information from you to kind of, you know, really understand.
Yeah. So
I was watching that today again. She's
Yeah.
so funny.
yeah, that thing
Yeah.
is hilarious. But it's literally what they do with like black content
Yeah.
creators and stuff, or like black individuals. They'll try and come just get you like,
Yeah.
oh, so this is the stuff you guys like. This is the food you guys eat.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the clothes you wear.
So it's more visibility, but it's not necessarily more
Progress.
Yeah, because do you know what?
progress.
Someone I work with said literally the other day, we were planning something for work, and she said, it's not that hard not to tokenize people. The way you can get black people involved in things without tokenizing them is to stop getting them to always talk about the fact that they're the black person involved in the thing. If you want if you want black writers, or if you want work by black people, why don't you just use a black writer instead of a white one? There are people who are doing the exact same thing, they just, one happens to be black and the other one is white. Why don't you just for once get the black person to do it, rather than it being like every time a black person speaks in a space they're talking about racism
or every
discrimination.
time it's Black History
It's
Month.
Black History Month and the black people are present. And I've been through this a multitude of times myself, so I know that it's like people will call on the vocal black people to talk about black things. And if you are a vocal black person like I am, I'm gonna talk because I feel like I need to, but it's not every black person in every white space that feels like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be the person who talks today about racial bias. Maybe I just want to talk about the book that I wrote this month. Like, do you know what I mean? As a black person, I'm black and I wrote a book. Maybe I want to talk about that. Maybe I don't want to talk about George Floyd. Maybe it's okay.
Trigger alert.
Yeah, maybe it's okay that I don't want to, you know, divulge my own trauma consistently on the internet.
It's like, would you ask somebody that has been like abused to talk about how they've been abused?
No.
Because it's awareness month. Like,
you simply wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
You just wouldn't.
You're so right. That's why Daniel Kaluuya, when he was talking about that interview that they keep bringing up,
oh
and
my
trying
god,
to
that
use,
guy.
like,
They keep trying to use that against him.
He literally said in the interview, he was like, fam, like that even from the whole where the clip came from, he said it came from an interview where the guy was talking to him about race, and he was like, cool, let me tell you a story. So there was a woman who somebody had robbed her house, and she called the police and she said, I've been robbed. And the police came, cool. and then they came and it was like, okay, cool. They put cuffs on the woman. They're like, cool. We're gonna take you to the station, put a blanket on you and stuff, and then taken to the police station, turn on the interrogation lights, sat with her. Do you need anything to drink? Cool. Then they gave her the drink and were like, yeah. So yeah. Why do you think you got why do you think you got robbed? Why do you think you got robbed? What do you think the person what do you not even those type of questions, but what did you do? They say, what did you do to get robbed?
Yeah.
I'm in my bed at night and somebody's robbed me, and now you're asking me what did I do to get robbed?
I should explain why I think I'm worthy of robbing.
Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And he was saying that that's what them not do in a lot of the black interviews that they do, and it's like, oh, I'm the victim here. Why do you keep asking me these
to explain why the system exists?
Why are you asking me
why
these
robbed?
men have a problem with me?
Yeah,
how?
So why do you think this is continuing? I don't know why you not keep killing people who look like me.
Ask the robbers. Literally ask the robbers.
Yeah.
And it's nuts that they do that. It's crazy. I can't even say it's crazy because that's
insanity. It's actually insanity.
Exactly. It is insanity. It literally is.
But I think that's what it is to continually be like, oh, okay, well, something black's happening. Let's get the black creator. Maybe just get when you wanted to put bikinis out and you were sending them to everyone but us. Maybe send them to us. I don't know.
So
I don't know. Beyonce don't send Ivy Park to just anybody. So you can target who you want to send PR to. You can target who you want to gift things. You literally can, because you can be selective. Beyonce does. Yeah.
So I don't know. Just off the back of what I said, visibly, but I don't feel like are people gonna get paid I don't know. I don't know, because man, who's at the top? Do you get it? So it's just a bit hard, not gonna lie. That's a tough one.
The reason why I asked that question is because, again, because of the NS Super album of the Frank Ocean album.
Yeah.
And I think you guys having a conversation about it being a decade since Channel Orange dropped, which maybe that's why I wanted to talk about 10 years into the future. But taking it back 10 years ago, what was obviously I wasn't late to Frank. I was quite early, but I didn't take in Channel Orange the same way that everybody else did. I took it in later. I was more so just banging out Novocaine, Swim Good, and Thinking About You. And I wasn't deep into Frank Ocean music at the time. So what was that like for you? Because I know you're a Frank fan, so what was that like for you?
It was a time, man. I think because everybody was just anticipating his next project. Obviously the tape he put out before, that's what he blew off of. So everyone was
Nostalgia
just kind of just waiting.
Yeah, that's the one that's been 10 years since.
It's been 10 years since Nostalgia Ultra.
Yeah.
I thought it was
16th of Feb 2011.
Oh, and Channel Orange came out 2013.
I feel 13 or something like that.
Yeah, sorry, Nostalgia Ultra, my bad.
It's cool.
But yeah, when that dropped, that was Tumblr days. That was
I lived on there.
You go on Tumblr, you scroll, you see A$AP Rocky before he blew.
You
see Justin Sky.
Just
seen Justin Sky. It was a time. That time was iconic. If you think about the people that came out of that era, of that time.
Can I ask you something?
The icons now,
just because you said Justine Sky now, yeah, I don't want to cause controversy, but there's just something that doesn't hit with her. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
She's a damsel. She's a damsel.
Damsels.
She's a oh yeah. She's a damn damsel. So I'm just
beautiful.
But I don't think
something's
she's
not connecting.
Yeah,
but she's so talented. So I'm just what is it?
I don't know. Do you know what it is? I feel like she creates she's very good at creating visual vibes, or I don't know how to explain it, but she's very good at being popular or seeing what's cool. Do you know what I mean? A tastemaker, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't vibe with her music. There's a disconnect with her music for me. I don't know what it is.
I like her, and like she's mad pretty, she's mad cool. I used to listen to her stuff like back in Tumblr days. Cool, like this would have been like before she signed to like Rock Nation or anything like that. I think she's independent now. But yeah, those are good times. From then, I don't like. I think she dropped a song called with DJ Mustard called Collide. But since then, I didn't really listen like that. Like I didn't really check for her. And then she put out a project. She put out like an EP. And I think this is when she just went independent, and like she was like, this is the times where she was like around in London. She was pulling up to Recess, like, and the music she put out like then, like, amazing. Like I'm like, why haven't you, like, you write your own stuff? Like why have I been waiting this long for it to sound this good? But like the song that she just put out, I'm just like, something's not connecting there. So I don't know what it is.
I feel like,
but I know that she's like she can sing, like she's can write songs. So I'm just like, what is it that's not connecting?
Just from what you said, like if you think of the artists that came from that era, because I wasn't on Tumblr, innit? I never had Tumblr. Like,
wow,
but
you missed out.
really
I did.
You missed
It was a
out.
great time.
If you think about the people that came out from there, like I know I was like the Janaes, they're like the ASAP Rockies, like the Frank Ocean. I feel like Justine Skye for me hasn't, even though she's tried to do like a couple of mature songs, I don't feel like she's like musically matured or like grown that much. Like in like, how can I say it? Like, yeah, like Kalani. Like for me, Kalani, the issue with Kalani I had with her for time was, it's just like, I'm not a girl, one. So then when she was making like childish to me music, it was very girlish childish music, like do you want to be a distraction, baby? Like I don't care to listen to that. Do you get what I mean? Like it's very like, it's very kid bop type of music. Until she released, for me it was While We Wait, and then that like she was talking about more mature stuff, or the sound of it was mature. Right. So I feel like that's where my disconnect with Justine Skye.
That's what I'm saying. That EP that she put out, that was that. So like from that, which it wasn't even that long ago, maybe like a year ago, to like what she just put out, I'm just like,
Sis is inconsistent in that way, but I don't think how do I say this and make sense? I do think Sis is inconsistent, no shade at all. But at the same time, I think it's difficult because if you've heard her properly, you know that she's talented, but it's just like, okay. And then, and what again? But I do think, about the Tumblr era, while we're on that, I do think a lot of people, artists then, who are still artists now, are very well-rounded. And also into a lot of things. Take Rihanna, for example. The queen of Tumblr.
Rihanna, do you see Rihanna's screenshots from her Tumblr and her Twitter? She was ruthless.
She was clapping back. I told people, don't mess with me. I will really be clapping back. Even her, when she got to 2013, the height of her clapback days, she was like having it. What?
The Tiana Taylor things that she was doing.
Listen,
ruthless, fam.
But it's like all of those artists, including Tiana Taylor, actually, I'm glad you mentioned it, because I've been dying to talk about it. I'm glad you brought it up.
Wait, before you go on to that, I just thought with the Justine Skye thing, somebody else that's like that is 7th Streeter.
Oh my god,
like,
7th Street.
Like they're so talented, but it's always from the same era, but it's always this disconnect. And I feel like people had that with Tiana Taylor for a while as well. But I
think that's the main reason why she retired. Because these are artists who have been making music for so long, and to be honest, are very, very talented. But for whatever reason, people aren't 100% connecting with it to the degree that they should, considering the level of talent that they have. Because I personally think Tiana Taylor makes great music. I think especially like what was it even called now? I can't remember the project.
What album?
KTSE?
I think so.
KTSE.
I think especially with that, I feel like that's when people were finally like, oh raw, she makes good music. I was like, y'all ain't hear the music she's been putting out up until now. But in order to have mainstream success, you do kind of have to be mainstream. And I feel like a lot of artists from that era, if they didn't become as mainstream as you would expect, then they just kind of disappeared. 7th Street was amazing. I can tell you, if you go into a room of 30 people, a large majority of them will not know who the hell she is.
Yeah, it's like Jasmine Sullivan, like super
She's
crazy
so good.
talented, but like it's only now that you could say she's getting a bit more mainstream, or like since was it
Windows out
Insecure?
your car.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, because it's just like there was a gap in time. But what I feel like Jasmine has done is she's matured.
Yeah, like
She's like, I'm not a
that's
baby,
it.
sorry.
mm,
Period. I'm not a
And
baby, whether you look like it or not. And I think if Ari Lennox was making music in the Tumblr era,
Oh,
she'd probably be in the same.
she
box
would
as
be
these
in
lot.
the same, I guess, class of Deja as these people.
Yeah.
She'd be in the same school as these
class
people.
of Tumblr.
Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
words.
Literally. She'd be in the same school as these people because of the kind of sound that they had going on with that particular, I guess, like R&B space. But even like the rappers of that time, ASAP Mob and that, like,
10 years ago, yeah, you know, Peso almost came out. I think it's like 10 years ago now. Almost. I think like this year is like 10 years. Like,
Damn.
I remember watching that video. It actually
That
changed my
video.
life.
that
like,
video. I think I watched that video.
I
so
vividly
many times.
remember seeing it on Tumblr, and I was like, oh my god. Like, you know when people are like, back in the day I was into hip hop. Some guys breakdancing on the floor, like my life changed
like in
forever.
Brown Sugar.
Like
yeah,
literally, I was like, yo, like
I remember the first
what
time I
is
saw that
this?
video. You know,
mind blown off completely.
I literally remember
like,
the first time I saw the video.
The first time I got introduced to ASAP Rocky was I think it was, what's that tune with Schoolboy Q off his first album, Long Live ASAP?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think
but
it was
I
that
know what you're talking
song, and then it was Fucking Problems.
Oh.
Because I'm like, the way I connected with like American music most of the time,
That
or
was
like
popping
music was one, like I guess music was what our parents were playing, or from like Leona. Like that's how I came into Drake and stuff, or like these are giving me their iPods with like their music on it,
Drizzy.
and then that's where I like gained my basis and I go off. But I remember because BET
Oh my God, shout out BET.
was such a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like BET 106 in Park was such a big thing. So like when Fucking Problems was on BET, it was like, you think I'll ever be able to forget that shaking camera while he's going, like that's where I came into him from, innit?
Crazy. Even like Frank Ocean, I heard on Tumblr. Like the first Frank Ocean song I heard was Novocaine when he like dropped that project, and I remember listening to it and I was like, what the heck is this? Who the heck is this?
I genuinely hadn't heard something like that
And
before.
I
And
kept
it
playing
was so weird.
I
like-
heard that on someone else's page. You know how you used to be able to
Yeah.
add songs to your page on
Yeah.
Tumblr?
Oh God.
Someone added Frank Ocean. I think it was Swim Good. They added to their page, and I was like,
Yeah, so Novocaine was on there, and then Swim Good was after
I
it
was
on the
just like,
playlist, like
what?
the person's playlist page.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and that's when I was just like, okay, this guy's sick.
I was like, I was listening to Novocaine. I was like, what? I kept playing it. I was like, no, this can't be real. But I was listening to it.
And it was real. That's the bad part.
It was real. I was listening to it like literally the other day, and I'm like, this song is 10 years old. What?
And it still slaps.
It still slaps.
Like when I was listening to the Super album, yeah, and they kicked it off with Novocaine, innit, I think. And I was just like, you know what people try and replicate? It's just like you can't. Whoever like who did that beat, yeah? Like it's like, do you know what it reminded me of? I even think that might be what it's sampled from, but you know the like in Brooklyn, like that with the whatever that Tyra sound,
Yeah.
like how do you capture that? You know
There was
what I
just
mean?
a lot
Like
of excellence happening at that time, and I think I was on YouTube heavy those days. Oh my gosh, I was watching cover after cover after cover.
Cover days. That's why I felt
thinking about you covers.
Hallie and
Hallie and Chloe. You know, people posting like the photos of them now. It really triggers me because I thought that was so normal when I used to watch them. And I went back onto like YouTube to see how far back it was that they were posting videos. It was like 2009, 2010, 2011.
Justin Bieber days when he was singing his heart out.
Singing his ass off. And them times Ariana Grande used to come on and she literally would like vlog in her room.
Even her was on there, fam. I used to listen to some girl, because they're both Filipino, and her was doing the keys, but
Damn.
she was known as Gabby then.
Gabby,
innit?
yeah.
So I was like, cool. And then I connected the dots.
I didn't deep she was who she was until one day she took her glasses off, and I was like, ain't that a
Nigga,
The
and niggas hate on
the piano
Superman.
playing
I think it was
yeah.
I think it was a Sway interview, and they must have
Not
like
Superman.
it was a Sway interview, and I think this was just before she like blew as her. I think, and she didn't have the glasses off. I think she was even still going by Gabby, whatever.
Gabby Wilson.
Then, and I was like, hold on a second. This is that piano playing.
This is that
babe.
piano playing, babe. People are singing their asses off. And I remember somebody did one of these white girls, child, that used to do covers on the internet, did
Esme
a
Dentist.
swim good. Listen,
What was
Tori
her
Kelly, them times. She
Oh
was
yeah,
singing
no,
her-
Tori
Oh,
Kelly. Yeah, I
no,
remember
no,
that.
no, big
I used to
please.
love
Tori Kelly
bro.
was singing her ass off on YouTube, and I was
Fam.
there just watching her, like, oh my god, how does she do that? Run so smooth. I'm gonna copy it, and I would literally just be copying. And Pentatonics was doing their a cappella covers, and there was this like group of girls, so they were a family.
Yeah,
do you remember?
Yeah, the ones that they used to stand
used to
on
stand
the
on the
banister.
stairs,
Yeah,
And they stand on the stairs in order of age.
yeah, fam, that was nuts. You know,
There were like 8 of them. I think they were Amish.
I'm finished.
Boy, that's none of my business.
But fam,
I think they were Amish, but
there's
there
been
was so much
many-
happening.
There's been so many.
Frank was killing it though. He was in his Birkin on Nostalgia Ultra.
Nigga
But,
said
fam,
big duffel,
He was-
big
he
bag.
was-
duffel,
in his
but the people
bag.
that have come off of the back of that, like we can't deny ASAP Mob's influence. We can't deny. Everyone's
I
got
think
braids
people
now.
do
We
know.
can't deny.
Yeah,
it.
Odd
it's a fact.
Future,
Odd Future. Oh, Odd Future. What?
fam. I love.
Everybody had Odd Future merch at one point. Like I specifically remember.
Supreme is like big because of
Supreme.
like.
Yeah, I
Odd
can't
Future
lie.
merch.
It was that era.
ASAP Mob. Like I just remember like people were going hard for that. Like
It was trendy.
heavily.
Because
Like-
them lot was the fashion niggas though. Like
Yeah, like they literally
Fam.
were.
ASAP Mob were the fashion niggas.
Crazy times, but they've influenced
That's so
like
nice.
literally everybody. Most people that are coming out now, those people that came from that era.
Who's an artist now that
blueprint.
you would say reminds you of like Frank circa Nostalgia Ultra?
Do you know? I can't even think of Frank, but off the ASAP point, I feel like somebody who's, this is gonna sound so crazy, yeah, but somebody who seems like as to a side and doing their own thing as like ASAP was, is kind of like Brent to me. Like,
yeah,
Brent like is
that
very
doesn't
much
sound
that.
strange.
Yeah, Brent is very much that. I'm different
Mm.
and I'm wearing clothes that you lot think are nuts.
Yeah,
But you niggas are gonna do this.
I'm toxic
And you're gonna,
king.
yeah, I'm toxic. I'm toxic.
Toxic.
Baggy
La,
jeans
la,
with some
la,
toxic
baggy.
behavior.
Yeah.
When I saw that video,
Cornrows.
I was crying. I was like, I don't know if I sent it to you or if I saw it.
Yeah, you're past my story, fam.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was so
So
funny.
accurate.
But who's like Frank? I'd say right now.
I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, but I feel like his influence has spilled over
Yeah.
to people, whether they know it or not. Like, for sure. But Brent is a very good example. Like, that guy is toxic. For
Fam,
real.
and he can't do wrong. I didn't like one of the songs from his recent thing that he did.
But the Dropbox
even
thing, yeah.
From that, I'd say he's Frank. He's like Frank in that regard
Yes.
of like very much like I'm doing this all like independently
Yeah.
and I'm doing it how I want to do it, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, you
using
don't
like,
have to like
I'm
it.
Yeah.
I'm doing like zip blogs. I mean like zip downloads. Like
Yeah.
who does that?
Oh my
Like-
god, Zip
like,
Downloads were such a mood.
What was I thinking of? Like, Frank will drop a tune on Tumblr.
Mm.
Or you write some post like drop the track. Like,
Them days,
Them
all my
days,
days.
wow.
And what's his face? I'm so glad that he's like out here now. Duran Bernard.
Mm.
He's been singing. He was singing on Tumblr and on YouTube like back
there people been singing.
He does.
back day, and he did one. I remember when I saw people deep him on Twitter. They posted a video that he did, and he was singing a Frank Ocean song, and people are like, I've never heard someone sing a Frank Ocean song well, to the point where I'm like, do I like this better?
Damn. I need to
Like,
check
he
that.
can sing.
That-
Look, Duran Bernard can say like he can sing, but like it was so, he makes a song his own in a way that I don't feel like a lot of other artists can accomplish or have accomplished if they can, because I guess people don't really like to do covers, but sometimes when you hear someone sing a cover, even though it was years ago, sometimes hearing someone sing a cover makes you think, right, people really can sing. You know, it's not just my favorite artist that can sing. Like people can sing.
Like Whitney Houston, that's a Dolly Parton song, G.
Deep it.
Dolly
Deep
Parton,
it.
that's Dolly Parton's song.
What song?
Whitney Houston, I will always love you.
You're lying.
No, dead ass.
Did you not know that?
Dead ass, that's a
No.
Dolly Parton song.
That's a Dolly Parton penned and sung song.
We love a bit of Dolly Parton though. That's Auntie.
Whitney just covered it.
Auntie Dolly.
Whitney just covered it.
Yeah.
My whole life has changed.
When I found out, my
can't
jaw
lie
was
to
on
you,
the
like, I
floor.
didn't know that.
My jaw was on the floor when I found out.
Yeah.
But it makes so much sense
It
when you
makes so
think
much
about
sense.
the composition of the song.
Yeah. Because
It's
like
so
the
Dolly.
cadence is very Dolly. Like,
Very.
if you think about her voice, then you're like, yeah, this makes sense.
She would
I
sing
found
that.
out-
She sings it effortlessly
Yeah.
as well.
I found out like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Still.
same.
It was life changing there. I was
See?
like, man.
That was me when I found out.
Do you know what's in my head right now?
What?
Sierra Leone's in my head, innit?
Oh.
Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And when he's going, my inner business, that's how I'm just thinking, like, bro, like,
Yeah.
damn. That's
Like,
crazy.
Real talk.
But, what was I going to say? Nah, I can't think of anybody that's similar to Frank. I think Frank's one of those people, yeah, that I've written short stories on assignments about like stuff this guy has written and gotten like
Mad.
2 1s and first on the projects.
Mad.
So that just shows his influence from a writing perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And who else thinks so? I've been saying this line for like 2 weeks now.
Go
The
on.
minerals on my body break light. Who thinks of describing diamonds like that?
Yeah.
Do you know how
He's in a league of his own.
barist? And that's one thing I want to say. Like UK R&B singers now, anyway, like these lot are barists.
Yeah.
Or a lot of like women R&B singers, them lot are barists.
Mhm.
If you look at the Scissors, even Jasmine Sullivan with some of the stuff she says, and just mainly Scissor, like the way Scissor says.
Says some things in some ways.
Fam, have you heard of Torah?
Yeah.
Fam, when I googled what her album, like she has this album, I googled what her album, like, or what one of the songs was. I forgot what it's called, the first song of her project. And I was like, I had to DM her and be like, yo, like, you're cold, you know?
There's
Like,
people
you're
out here.
cold. It's about like situationships where like bees being stuck to trees. I was just like,
There's so much art.
There's
in
so
it.
how are you
much.
barring like this?
There's so much. There's
Even
actually so
even
much.
that Bella song when she was
Oh my
like, the
God.
sun
So, you
shines
know, I have
extra
so
hard
much time for
impressing
her.
you.
I have so much time for Bella.
I do.
She's cold, man.
She is very
She's so
cold.
sick.
So sick.
She's so sick. I think that, like, on the point of what you were saying about Brent and not caring to be necessarily, you don't have to be. I don't have to be your kappa type of vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Frank was doing on Blonde,
Yeah.
but
definitely.
he was very much my cup of tea on Blonde.
I
Like,
know
I've
bare
had this
people
conversation
like
with a couple
it,
people. Bare people are like, "Oh, Blonde is
No, but now when
Are
they
you
listen to
kidding me?
Blonde, they're
Yeah.
like,
self-control."
It's like when people listen to 808 and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
They're like, at the time, what is this noise? But now they're deep in like, yeah, that was a blueprint. Or
Everybody's
like,
saying
yeah,
that's their
that
favorite
was like,
Kanye album.
yeah.
Now.
well, nothing was the same. At the time, there people were saying,
Nothing was the
what's
same,
all
what's
this?
my
What's
shit?
all
I don't
this
know why people
slow?
had qualms with it.
I
like,
loved
I
it.
liked
was
it
the
when
same
it
at
was
the
out,
time.
fam.
even
The
views,
language.
even views, people like, oh yeah, views and all that.
Views at the
I'm
time, I wasn't that
When
that
Views
big of
first
views.
dropped, I didn't deep it until I listened
no.
to the transition. Feel No Ways. I said, okay, I'm inside.
Fam,
now.
I was just like, I like this because it's Drake in it. But then when you listen now,
Nah.
like,
Spoken like a true stand.
fam, no, but like, I'm being for real. But when you listen to it now, yeah, like,
It aged ridiculous.
No,
Feel No
listen,
Ways, Western Road Flows. Like,
Yeah, Redemption.
I remember when Views came out. I was in the shower doing my, sometimes I'm in the shower. I listen to bare music.
Yeah,
I don't know
same.
if anyone
yeah,
does that.
yeah,
Yeah,
same,
with
same.
The shower was
Yeah.
bare long. So I'll
This is a music lover only stream. Like,
I was like, I remember listening to it. Yeah, the first track, I was like, I think it was like Family Close, Family, Family,
Keep the Family
Keep the
Close.
Family Close. Yeah.
Yeah.
It started and I was just like,
fam,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy. Like it was just hitting me. It just hit my spirit. I was like, nah, this is crazy. The whole project was crazy. Controller, everything was doing that.
Wow,
forgot
Controller.
about
The
Controller.
original one. Nah.
you like it? Now that you said
Controller,
that, yeah.
the two versions.
I've
Yalla
deeped-
Teraf, me garment.
Oh yeah, fam.
My bathroom coming to me
Apartments,
apartment, boy.
Hey,
Come on.
fam. When you said that now, I remember where I was. I was I remember I had school that day, but I woke up early to listen to this album.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
dropped in the morning. I
Yeah,
remember.
on OVO Sound
Yeah.
Radio. So
Spoken like a true fan.
and me and Amma, like, Amma messaged me like, "Are you awake?" And I was like, you damn sure I am. You damn Skippy.
Got my alarm set.
It's crazy. I had a headache. But I listened to this thing, and me and her were like talking back and forth about like how do we feel? How do you feel about this song? This tune. And because I heard the sample of Feel No Rays, and when he did the I'm such a fanboy. I'm embarrassed. But when he did when there was like
Rap Genius album.
fam, you see the love in my eyes, the dedication. When he like when there was a snippet of it, of like somebody playing in the studio, it was like with this type of carpet, I remember, and it was literally just the your body language says it all.
Yes.
Or it was I'm downtown whipping on the way to you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I need to hear this song. And
Wow,
once I heard it didn't let me down. I was tired of the creator when Drake did the Camp Flognog, and Tyler's just there.
Camp Flog.
But yeah, no, that's sick.
Do you know what
good
I think
times.
even aged well? Scorpion.
Man said Scorpio.
Sorry, I was listening to it today. That aged well for me. I was listening to it literally yesterday, and I was like,
I liked it at the time.
why did
I like Scorpio.
I didn't think it didn't slap. But again, I feel like it kind of had the same reaction as Views did when it came out. It's like, I like it because it's Drake, but like
Jaded.
10 out of 10. After Dark.
Jaded.
Dipping out on me already. Got what you needed, I guess. Oh, what? Title of the song?
You play me. Low down, dirty, shameful,
what
crazy.
Fam.
Like, what? You see that ramble there? It's similar to the ramble he did on, was it Diamonds on Me Dancing?
Yeah, the ending, yeah.
Like, what's
Look
wrong
a
with
shame.
this guy?
Yeah, he tapped, you know. He's tapped. He's actually tapped. Drake is so scary. But
Honestly.
I really like that episode.
Yeah.
I really like that. I read it. Top picks.
Oh,
Yeah, I can start.
I
Okay,
need to grab my phone. Hold on.
cool. I'm a start us off. Speaking of Drake, he just released Scary Hours 2.
Yep.
And that day I'm not as big of a Drake stan as I used to be. You was on it. I'm not as big of a Drake stan as I used to be, but I still like love the brother's music, innit? So the thing came out and I was busy that in the morning, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna, because I saw he dropped a video with it. I was like, cool,
I haven't seen the video yet.
the video's cold still, I can't lie. There's one, this nigga, he just makes me want to buy rich clothes that I can't afford. And
I'm finished.
fam, so I watched it and I listened to the thing. Just like this tune, at first when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, it's calm. But then the way the beat was coming in and like the music,
It better not be the first song.
I like the first song. Oh, was that one of yours?
No,
Oh, you
She
don't
don't
like it?
like
I don't
it.
like the first song.
You don't like What's
I
Next?
enjoyed it.
I love
You know
What's
what?
Next.
I accept it for what it is, but it's not what I'm trying to hear from Drake.
Nah,
like,
man.
I feel like Drake does this every time. Give me what I want.
He has to balance, innit? But I proper liked it. Like when I first heard it, I was just like, oh yeah, cool, it's whatever. And then I kept listening to it again, yeah. And I like the fact that it like integrated like it was even with the video. If you watch I feel like if you watch the video with it, you'll like it more, innit? And it's like has his boys and stuff, and even what he's saying, like when it's just me, the owl, and the twins, and that type of thing. But my first top pick is Drake. What's Next? Then my second, speaking of Bella, she must have posted on Twitter or quote tweeted this guy's album was coming out, and then I'm like, remember what I said a couple episodes back? I trust Bella's ear. I trust it with
It's an ear
music.
to be
And
trusted.
fam, it's an ear to be trusted. So I went onto the link and I found this guy called Destin Conrad.
Oh, I've
And-
heard of him.
I've
I've heard of him.
And I
I've
was,
heard of him.
fam, you won't regret. I listened to his thing on the way here. It's 40 his album. He just dropped an album in it. But I found when I saw the tweet, it was the day before we went and took pictures. And
Okay.
I was just like, raw, like, he only had 4 songs out at this point. It's just like, oh, this is sick. And then his album came out. And I was just like, oh, this guy is sick. His album's called Colorway, but the song that I've chosen is Fraud, featuring, I forgot to write the young lady's name, but there's a female singer on there as well. I think it's Ombre something. Cold tune.
Ombre.
Oh,
Is she American?
Yeah.
Oh my! Don't get me started.
Yeah, let me see her
See
name.
that babe? She's talented.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's just
I've
Amber,
been-
yeah.
I remember I first came across her in like uni, like 2016. Fam, she's crazy talented. Like,
Fam,
I'm gonna listen to this project now.
she's crazy talented. I'll even send you some of her old songs.
calm. Send them my way. Even
Ahead
on
of her
this tune,
time.
she did like something with her voice where she sounded like a guitar. Like,
Yeah, she plays guitar as well.
Fam,
She's so
it's
her
nuts.
voice is crazy.
But yeah, that's my second tune.
Mhm.
And then my third and final top pick. We need the flowers for Gets, man. We need the
Oh,
flowers
come
for
on.
Gets. Like I'm so like I don't know how much happier I can be for somebody to get a win than I
He
was for his album to
deserved.
get number one.
He deserved
Like,
that.
Gets, I was being real. I didn't listen to Gets like that. Like it was from his last album that I proper started. I always just knew Gets is a barra.
Yeah,
Like he's
yeah.
mad about bars. I'll watch because I know this guy's doing it's going over your head like the hood
Yeah.
and that type of stuff. But I only listened to his last album fully, and from there I was just like, this ghetto gospel stuff. This guy is he's for true. He's
The
for
truth,
real.
ghetto, the
He's for
truth.
real.
It's true.
So then I went to this one and I loved the album. Like I loved it
Yeah.
start to finish. Like I'm big props for Conflict of Interest. I even bought it. Those the type of projects I actually buy. But I'm taking off one of the lighter hearted tunes, but it was still a vibe. It gave me that Chip song with Bugsy type of vibe, yeah. Gets with Good Hearts. I was just like,
Oh, I liked that
fam.
one. To be honest, I loved the whole album.
I did like
Sick.
the whole album as
I
well.
have to say that.
That's my top picks. Who am I moving on to next?
I will do
go to
me.
Tyra.
Go
Let me
with
get
our
my
guest.
list up because I came prepared. Okay.
This is what you have to do when you come on to the podcast. You have to have your top picks ready.
Exactly. So my first top pick is from a project that actually just came out recently. So around the same time Gets dropped as well.
I think I know.
And I was trying to figure out why is it that I'm just drawn to this person. Like, they're funny, they make good music, they're likable characters, and I just thought, like, what is it?
They're
Yeah.
Jamaican.
I found out they're Jamaican.
They're always
so
Jamaican with their good
it just
vibes.
made sense. Digga D.
Oh wow, this is
Round of applause for the project that he dropped because
I haven't listened to it yet. You know.
You know
I've yet to
what?
listen to it,
It's
but I've heard
actually very good.
A few snippets and it's giving good vibes.
and considering he's a quote unquote drill rapper, you don't always expect so much for them. Like, it's kind of like they do what it says on the tin, but he actually played about with it throughout his project. And one of the songs I was feeling, which just shows where he's from really, is Window. This song, if they play this at recess, the roof is coming off.
Swear. Even with the bangers he's already dropped.
The roof is coming off.
Damn.
That song is getting willed like crazy. Like, we're in Jamaica, we're on the island.
Right.
That's what the song
I
is
need to be
giving.
listening.
Damn, I'm gonna check for that.
So
It's gonna be on the Twin Podcast
shout out Digga D,
top picks
because that
playlist.
song is crazy. Like, it's gonna go off June. What's the
Window.
date?
21st.
June 21st.
That song's gonna go off.
Damn.
My next song is, obviously you guys are already familiar with these artists. For those that don't know, please do your homework, do your research. Shea Universe,
I haven't listened to this yet.
Royalty.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Please, nah.
Please,
Denzel?
royalty.
You're sleeping on the job.
Yeah,
Damn.
This song is like crazy.
it's such a
Shay
good song.
always does what Shay
She's
does.
so sick, man.
She's just so
Buttery
naturally
vocals.
sick. Like,
Like-
her vocals, just like her cadence, like how she kind of plays into that rap bag. She does quite a bit on this track.
What
And
do
then
you know?
obviously Koji just comes in and does what he does. Like, one of, like, do I want to say one of his best verses? In terms of feature verses, like, yeah, this is one that I listen to. Like, yeah, he flexed on this one as well.
Okay.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
Do you know what it is? For some
Based on
reason, I've been
listen.
waiting for the video.
Yeah.
Because I seen them shooting the video.
Yeah.
But I already, like, people that just get the green light in your head. Like, I already know when Shay puts out something,
Yeah.
it's cold. Because she has put out a lot of music, but she hasn't, like,
I feel like this is like,
this is her coming out,
yeah,
like,
yeah. This
yeah.
is like, I'm not to be ramped with. Like, this is we're
Gosh.
going through, like, visuals, everything. So yeah, I'm even excited for that video. But yeah, I've been playing that song a lot since it dropped. And then my last one, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this person, Wesley Joseph.
I don't know who that is.
No,
please do your research.
I don't know who
I
that
even
is.
just came across him the other day. He's a rapper. I guess people would put him in the alternative rap bag. But he's super talented. Like he produces his own music videos. Like the song that is on my top pick. So Wesley Joseph, Thriller. He directed that music video.
I'll watch it when I get into
I don't think I've heard of
fam,
this.
he's just so talented. Like he spits, he directs visuals, and I think he's from the same camp as Emil. I think they're boys. If you don't know who Emil is, Emil's a producer.
Who he is. Yes.
Who did a song.
Excellent.
He's done some songs with Nux and A2 and stuff like that. Which his project is even amazing.
So
Ambrosia,
good.
I bought the vinyl. I think it's a classic.
Good.
I think it's a classic.
So good.
But yeah, Wesley Joseph, check him out if you don't know about him.
Sick. So on to my top picks. So my first top pick, we're going to start with another duo that I used to watch religiously on YouTube. If you don't know about Van Jess, get to know about Van Jess.
Throwback.
Fantastic Nigerian American queens, okay? And they released a project, Homegrown, and my top pick from that project is Slow Down. I think the whole thing, when you listen top to toe, is just a great, very satisfying listen. So Van Jess with Slow Down is my first top pick. My second top pick, since we're talking homegrown and all, we're gonna keep it in the ends and it's gonna be Abracadabra.
Wow.
With you know I've been around listen, you know. Anyway, it's featuring, I think it's featuring Kush. Let me confirm. Yeah, featuring Kush, Abracadabra. Again, that's on his most recent project that he dropped. I think there's only like 4 tracks on there, but it's a good listen. And I enjoyed Abra getting into his kind of singing bag. I liked
He does
that.
romance well. Remember what we were saying, fam?
yeah,
Will you be my Valentine's? Fam,
Listen, he does romance well. He was giving them vocals, okay? And my final top pick, I have been absolutely banging this album. If you follow me on anything or you watch my YouTube videos, then you'll know this. Blast dropped No Love Lost. And my actual top pick from No Love Lost, which is, there is a song called No Love Lost. I think it's the first track on the album. But my top pick is Chosen featuring Ty Dolla $ign. Now let me tell you something. Yeah, one thing about Ty Dolla, he's a cheat code. If Ty Dolla features on your track and your track doesn't bang, the track was never gonna bang. Because one thing about Ty Dolla, he adds the correct sprinkles to the cake batter. Like the song was already fantastic. The song was already fantastic. Like everything on Free TC. Like the track was already banging. Chosen on its own is banging. I absolutely am in love with Blast as it stands. Like great melodic rap. Great hip hop vibes. What?
Have you seen the visuals?
Yes.
That's how I came. Some girl put me onto him like a month or 2 ago. No, while outside was still open.
He just gives us like really luxurious hood vibes.
Fam, and it's like
it's real
and
hood.
And his videos like they follow like a story as well. It's like he's clean with it. I proper like him.
I think when I was watching his visuals, it reminded me of like, you know how like. For me, it felt like looking at like Crenshaw through Nipsey's lens. That's the kind of vibe I felt when I was watching Blast's videos. Real luxury hood vibes. Like, but Chosen, it up and he was right. Listen, you lot need to listen to that.